Penrith were back in Northern League action last night. They had a trip to North Shields, and it didn't turn out too good either because it finished 6-1, but not a 6-1 game. Jim Nichols told me, Jim, it wasn't a 6-1 game, you would say.
No, I think bizarrely, I thought it was probably one of our best performances of the season for 75 minutes. We absolutely battered them from minute one, controlled the tempo of the game, controlled the ball, 80-85% possession, created chance after chance after chance, fell behind to an error from ourselves. Second goal was really poor defensively. Lads managed to bring one down and finish it from inside the 6-yard box, got back into the game, where then hit the bar, hit the post, just couldn't score. And then we've shipped three in probably less than 3 minutes to make it 5-1. And unfortunately, we seem to be in this real thing of we're not taking chances. The last 2 or 3 games, I think we've actually played really well in spells, but we're not taking the chances when we get them. And teams against us are being clinical. And their manager pulled me after the game as we were walking off the pitch. He went, "What?" He said, "I can't really describe what I've just watched there." And I went, "Me neither." And he said, I'm looking at my assistant thinking, we're not going to beat these here. These are going to score. These are going to score. These are going to score. And he said, "You just didn't." But it's becoming a regular thing, John. And you know, football's a game of fine margins, isn't it? And we're not scoring the first goal often enough. We find ourselves chasing games. And ultimately, when you're chasing games, you find yourselves more exposed at the back, and we find ourselves in that position more too regularly, really.
What about the team? You've had problems getting a settled team. You always got to make changes. Did you make a few more changes last night?
Yeah, we did, but I felt we were strong last night. I felt we had a good, and the way we played was really, really positive, but we just fell apart, and it's so frustrating. I mean, you know, you see the emotion of it straight after the game in your cross and everything else. I've watched the game back today. I don't think we could have played much better than we did, but we're just not taking the chances at the right time. And goals change games, don't they?
No, absolutely. What about
Ultimately,
the goals you're conceding, Jim? Are they all mistakes? Are mainly mistakes?
they were really poor last night. Really poor last night. But it seems to be. It seems to be. I watched their interview back after Saturday, and these were very similar. And they said we feel we can get at Penrith if we're really direct. And I don't feel we're dealing with teams that are direct well enough. I don't think we win the first contact enough when the ball comes into the box. And then if you don't do that, chances are going to fall to the other team. And that's where we seem to be at the moment. We've got to find a way to be better at that. I mean, like, we talked long after the game with the players and sort of said, look, this isn't about football, and this isn't about ways of playing or anything else. This is just about a desire and a will to be the first man to get your head on the ball when it comes in the box, to cut it out at the near post. And if you're not winning them, you're not going to win many games of football. And unfortunately, that's where we are at the moment.
And the goals that you're missing, are they really easy, fairly simple chances?
The chances other teams would take against us. And I think that's the frustrating part, is we have to work so hard to get ourselves in those positions. And I don't feel other teams have to at the moment. And we've got to find a way to make it harder for other teams. It doesn't get any easier. On Saturday, we're travelling to Bishop Auckland, who,
crikey.
If the budget's to be believed, to be probably significantly more than anybody else's in the league. But if we play like we did, we'll give them a real game. But the biggest issue we've got at the moment is we're shipping goals for fun. And deal with that and to get better at doing that, because we've conceded some like 24 goals in 8 games. You're not gonna win a lot of games doing that, and it's fairly obvious that that's where the problems are at the moment. It's just that desire, and probably a little bit in terms of, I want to say characters, but I don't mean characters in terms of we like individuals. I mean in terms of when the game's hard, somebody who's going to get the game by the scruff of the neck and say, right, we've just conceded. Side, we don't have those players within our squad necessarily, or if we have, we've got very limited numbers of them, and that's sometimes the tiny little bit difference you need, an organiser and somebody who's going because you go into work today and was going, oh, what happened last night? Well,
Yeah,
unfortunately, whether we say, oh, well, they didn't represent the game or not, that's the representation of the game that everyone sees. So we've got to the team that should win the league.
Yeah, and how are you going to be strength-wise?
Hopefully we're going to be strong. Hopefully we're going to be strong. And say last night was probably the strongest we've managed to get out. And as I say, in terms of performance, John, for 70, 75 minutes, it was as good as we've had. So that's probably, he's probably moving in the right direction. Yeah, we need to maybe look, do we need to change shape or something like that, and just to try and stop the flow of goals at the moment. But yeah, it's a tough one to take and say because we didn't merit it. But ultimately, that's the game at the end of the day, isn't it? You've got to be able to do it for 90 minutes in both boxes, and we didn't.
Yeah, right. And are you nearly finished your midweek games?
No, certainly got another one next week. I think we've got another one next week. I think by the second week of September, we potentially played a third of the season. So
It's crazy in a way, isn't it? You know, to get all these.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do by the time we get to March and April. We'll have nothing to do. But we've played a lot of games already. I think we played 8 league games, something like that. But yeah, it's disappointing last night. Once I watched the game back, it sort of confirmed what I saw at the time. That actually, for large spells of it, we played some really good football and we dominated the game. But it's not about dominating the game, is it? There's only one thing that matters at the end. At the moment, we're not getting ahead on either front. We're not keeping the ball out the goal, and we're not putting it in there.
Famous footballer of the 50s and early 60s, Ronnie Allen from West Brom. His autobiography was called "It's Goals That Count."
And yeah, absolutely.
That's what it's about, isn't it? Really.
Absolutely, yeah. Like you can play as well as you want, but if you can't score and you can't keep it out, you ain't going to win many. So we've got to find a way for that to change, and we will do. But it's frustrating from last night because I thought we equipped ourselves really well, and yeah, we've just got to find a way to make sure we're getting over the line in both boxes, and if we can do that, we won't be far off.
Jim, thanks very much indeed. Dig in, and all the best for Saturday.
Cheers, John.